Good afternoon to everybody. We are on now Parshat Tetzaveh, and Parshat Tetzaveh continues with describing the building of the Mishkan, the furniture of the Mishkan, and also the inauguration of the Kohanim as functioning in the Mishkan. All the Mefarshim raise the question that why in this parasha, which speaks about basically the close of the Kohanim and also their function, inauguration, the details of their inauguration, why is it that the Torah speaks about the building of the inner golden altar? There were two altars in the Mishkan, one which was outside, that's called the copper altar, on which Am Yisrael brought the various animal korbanot. And then there was an inner altar. The inner altar was made of gold. It was together with the shulchan, with the table, with the menorah, and also and then in the Kodesh Kodashim there was Aaron. So why is it that this description of the golden altar on which they brought incense, a nice incense which brings about a very nice aroma, why is it described in this parasha and it's not described in a previous parasha, which is a parasha of Truma, which speaks about all the furniture of the Mishkan? So basically, what I wanted to speak about was to describe it, to speak about the sense of smell. In order to get to that, basically, a lot of the Mefarshim say that what was unique about this golden altar, that it wasn't used to sacrifice animals. The only thing that you could use this altar for was to bring a korban of incense twice a day. They had a recipe of 11 ingredients. They took coals from the Mizbeach, put the coals onto the golden Mizbeach, and then they poured these fine spices on it, bringing about like wonderful aroma. So some of the Mefarshim say the difference again between the two altars is that the one altar is associated with atonement, with fear, with awe, with trying to fight. On the other hand, the golden altar, what it is used for? Just to have a nice aroma. In other words, what we can say is that the purpose of this golden altar in the Mishkan was to bring a sense of joy to the people who are coming to the Beit HaMikdash. You're not coming now to atone for anything. Part of your being in the confines of the temple is that we got like a joy, we got pleasure from this wonderful smell that wafted over the area of the Mishkan and later on of the Beit HaMikdash. So having said that, I just wanted to go into a little bit what is in Judaism so special about the sense of smell. And there are three or four like matters or factors which speak about that are unique to the sense of smell. And in the Torah and in Judaism, these are highlighted very much so. It's really emphasized in all the Ketuvim and in the writing. So if we first started off with what is written in Bereshit, that in Bereshit it says over there that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he formed Adam, and then it says he blew into his nostrils the soul of life, and man became a living being. So based on this, the Mekubalim say that the sense of smell is unique in that not only, so to speak, the body, the physiological body gets pleasure, but it impacts on the soul as well. Because all breath was breathed into the nostrils. The breath of life came by the nostrils of a human being. That's how Hashem blew the breath of life into him. So therefore the nostrils are like sensitive, that they have got also an impact on the neshama. And that's why each time we bless something on, that we smell a nice aroma, what we do is we make a bracha, borei minei besamim, borei yitzvei besamim, depending on what type of aroma it is. In fact, I saw, I haven't got a medical background in any way, but I saw a study that, I can tell you, for those who want to look at the link, it's a study on humans can discriminate more than 1 trillion olfactory stimuli. So this is in New Science magazine, basically January 2015. Can you imagine that the uniqueness of the sense of smell that HaKadosh Baruch Hu breathed into our nostrils, so it made it super sensitive. I don't know how they measured this. As I say, I haven't got enough of a scientific background, but in this scientific magazine, so it says 1 trillion different types of odor a nose is capable of discerning. So let's just speak a little bit also about the other wonders of the sense of smell. The sense of smell has a tremendous capacity to also arouse memories. They did all sorts of experiments, and they saw that the smell that a fetus even picks up, it reminds a child afterwards of certain smells that they were subject to and exposed to in their mother's womb. They saw that, for example, if the mother had garlic when she was pregnant, or she had a certain amount of alcohol or other things, then a child born later on exposed to those type of smells will have an extra attraction to those type of smells over people who didn't have such exposure. And the second, there's 2 other very, very important inyanim of smell, and that is something which is brought in the Hasidic writings of the Bnei Yisachar. The Bnei Yisachar says that if you look at the sense of smell, besides the fact that Hashem blew into the nostrils of man the breath of life, because it could be that because it was so direct, so the sense of smell remained totally spiritual and intact. Now the Bnei Yisachar says, if you look at the psukim of, I'll just read it to you in English, if you look at the psukim of the sin that Chava did when she ate from the Eitz Hadat, so it says like this. First of all, the sense of hearing. So because Chava, first of all, she listened to the snake with her ears. Then it says that she looked at the tree. It says it was a delight to the eyes. Then what she did was she used a sense of touch. She took from the tree with her hands. Then her sense of taste. She tasted the fruit with her mouth. And then what she did was also she said she convinced Adam, that also again through her speech, that he should also eat from the Eitz Hadat. So the Bnei Yisachar says that the only sense which did not participate in the sin of Adam HaRishon was the sense of smell. The sense of smell remained untouched. It wasn't involved in hate, and therefore it remains something which is pure. In fact, in Yeshayahu it says that the Mashiach, when he comes, he will not judge by his eyes, but what he'll do is he will judge by his sense. Some of them are Parshim, amazingly, they say that they take it quite literally. They say that a person, that the Mashiach will able, through his sense of smell, will be able to discern, has a person got Yirat Shamayim or he hasn't got Yirat Shamayim. He'll be able to judge through his smell. There are, by the way, interesting studies about the sense of smell, that Be'emet people through smell, let's start this way. A person, when he's in a specific, or she in a specific mood, so the body emits certain odors, and people pick up whether the person's happy or whether the person, through these odors, or whether the person is in tension, anxious, fearful. So that's according to the interpretation that the Mashiach will judge by his sense of smell, and they take it literally. So it's he will be in such a state of alertness and vibrancy that he'll be able to pick up what a person's spiritual state of Yirat Shamayim is. I just want to end off with an interesting halachic thing, and that is that, so we make a bracha whenever we smell something which is a wonderful scent. And the whole chidush, amongst other things, is that unlike other brachot of pleasure, the sense of smell, the bracha that we make, is on something that is not attracted through our pleasure. What do I mean by that? When a person eats, so he's consuming something, he's destroying something, he's imbibing a food into his body, and then he makes a bracha. Same thing when a person drinks. But when a person smells, he's not attracting through his pleasure the source of that pleasure. Is the plant that gives off, or the flower that gives off that aroma, it remains intact. So some people say, some achronim say that in fact that the bracha that we make on the sense of smell is not so much, not only a birkat ne'enim, but what it is a birkat hashevach. It comes under the category of blessings of praise that we give HaKadosh Baruch Hu for having created this wonderful sense of smell. So in summary, we asked, all the Mefarshim asked, why is it when the Torah speaks about the furniture of the Mishkan? So what the Torah does is that it lists all the art, all the furniture in Parshat Truma, excepting for one item, and that is the golden Mizbeach, which is mentioned in Parshat Tetzaveh in our parasha. And the difference is because all those items are somehow connected to forgiveness, to atonement, whereas the golden Mizbeach is only associated with putting a nice ketoret, spices. And the whole point then, the difference between these two categories are that there are items in the Beit HaMikdash or there are furniture in the Beit HaMikdash which is associated with atonement, and then the golden Mizbeach is associated with a pure joy of a wonderful aroma, which we've now just expanded, that is not only a wonderful aroma, but that it is a very spiritual type of pleasure, because it was something that was untainted from the time of Bereshit. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.